Alrighty there, folks. Let's have some fun with just the first few verses of Genesis chapter 3. What a huge chapter. Everybody has something to say about it. You've heard a lot about it too. What does this teach about sin? Temptation is going to be our focus here. You've probably heard a lot about the nature of temptation, but here's the thing. There is in the Hebrew even more to say about what temptation is and how it works. I'll point out just 3 things. And if you're interested in more, I'll tell you where to go for that. But let's start with verse number 1. The serpent was more crafty than any other beast of the field. Interesting word choice there. Arum is crafty. And we just had in the previous verse, the last verse of chapter 2, the couple described as arom, which is naked. Arum for crafty, arom for naked. In fact, if you go to the original manuscript, so that the original manuscripts didn't have any vowels. If you take out the vowels, those two words, arum and arom, would look the same. So wait a minute, what's going on there? So do you see what this means for temptation? The serpent not only will go after, use arum, craft, to go after those who are arom and try to bust them up as a couple, and we'll talk more about that soon. But the serpent goes after them when they are vulnerable. They go after them when they are exposed. He will go after us when we are in weakness, when we are stressed, when we are totally strapped, when we are totally pressed. That's how temptation enters in. That's the moment. That's what the serpent seeks to do. Expose us, take advantage when we are vulnerable, when we are weak. Second thing, take a look at verse 2. It says, you should probably subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't yet. Wait a minute, is that what it actually says? No, I'm just playing. But seriously, okay, subscribe if you haven't. The second thing in verse 2 is, did God actually say, you shall not eat of any tree in the garden? And that's interesting because the Hebrew, so he says to the woman, but he says something that has to do with both of them. The you in Hebrew is plural. He speaks a plural you. So he's speaking to the woman, one person, but he's actually then saying something that applies to both of them. You, plural, you, all of you, both of you, not eat from any tree of the garden. So he picks one individual to go after the corporate. He picks one to go after the whole body. What are we learning about temptation from this? He isolates, he individualizes, he goes after one individual for the sake of getting at everybody. For the sake of getting at Adam, go through Eve. For the sake of getting at others, he'll go through you, through me. That's the end game here that you see in the Hebrew. He'll speak to one, but he's really going after all. And then finally, look at verse 2. And everybody's focused on this, rightfully so, but let me point out a little bit more what's going on here. The woman says, we may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but God said, you shall not eat of the fruit of the tree that's in the midst of the garden, neither shall you touch it, lest you die. Lots to be said here. Everybody seems to focus on this business of touching it. Now, that wasn't in the original command, and so Eve is adding something there. That's true, and yet that's just scratching the surface. So she is not only adding, but she's also subtracting, and she does this in multiple ways. Take a careful look at all of the verbs there, eat and touch and die. All of those are in the plural as well. And so she's adding, the original command was in the singular. She's adding now the plural. The serpent introduced the plural, you, and Eve follows with it. She's now speaking on behalf of not just herself, but others. But Adam, you, plural, yeah, I'll start speaking now on behalf of everyone. The original command was singular, but she goes to the plural following the serpent. So she adds, in that way, she adds the touch phrase. She also subtracts, and I think this is often missed. What does she call the tree? The one that's in the midst of the garden. It has a name. It's called the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. She leaves it out. Why did you not call it? So she lessens it, and she also says, lest you die. Now, the original command is you will surely die. Certain, no doubt about it. And yet she says here, lest you die. There's a chance. If that could happen, there's a chance that you could die if you eat from this. And this is the third thing we're learning about temptation that we can see in the Hebrew. She is both adding and subtracting from the word. Temptation is something that diverts our attention away from the word. God has given a command, and we want to add to it. Yeah, he said that, but here's a qualifier that I've added to it. Or, yeah, he said that, and let's take away from it. Let's lessen the blow. He said that, but he doesn't really mean the full extent of that. Let's turn down the octane level a little bit on what he said. Adding and subtracting, diverting attention from the word, all those things and more in the Hebrew of Genesis 3. Are there other things? Yes. Check out this video for more. Take a look at it in depth. Hey, do me a favor, subscribe, like, help me keep going. Appreciate it. God's blessings. Until next time.